So Marco Huck returns after a 2 year layoff, basically, and wins a unanimous decision, a very boring and dull unanimous decision against the club Passar. Um, yeah, it wasn't great to watch. I was zoning out for most of it. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't score the fight. Huck won. It was clear, but there were issues here and there. Feeling very ecstatic of that win. Feeling very ecstatic about watching that fight. No, I'm not at all. But yeah, I think Pessar. I think at times as the fight went on, made it difficult for Huck as he was coming in. But again, I mean, the commentary was saying, oh, he's causing him some real problems. I wouldn't say he caused him massive problems. He did make it hard at times when he was coming in, but I wouldn't say he caused him loads and loads of problems. Yeah, Huck was working the body well. Huck's hooks were, again, a key factor in that fight. They were his big shots that were landing. The straight to the body was decent. It's not loads to say on it. He says, oh, he wants to get back to the top of the cruiserweight division and that. But it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. Yeah, Vassar's 26 and 23. 26 wins, 23 losses. That's who Marco Huck just beat. In a very slow-paced, slow-mannered, no urgency kind of fight. That's what that was. That's what it was. You can't expect to get back to the top of the Burnley division or get back to the proper top of your game with that. I mean, look, Pissar's a very tough man. He is. Both guys look 41 years old in there. That was clear to see. But I mean, the only real action was the final 10 seconds of the fight. That's what it was, really. That was the only real good action. Again, Huck. I mean, it was obviously going to be like that. I'm not surprised that the fight was like that. It was obviously going to be like that. Slow pace, not much to it. Huck landing the bigger shots, Huck landing the cleaner work. And that's what it was, really. But it was very slow pace, very dull, very boring. Huck was inactive in the mid rounds, especially. I felt like he was pretty inactive, didn't really do loads, worked the jab to the body a bit, but other than that, didn't really do loads. Yeah, scrappy in the mid rounds, really. They're both falling into the clinch a lot. Yeah, it's just a fight where there's just not loads to say. There's not loads to report on, really, to be honest. It was just a dull 10 rounds that we saw. But again, look, it's good to see Marco Huck back. And he is going to fight again. Where he goes, I have no idea. You can't put him in against a top level guy, Passar, he's 26 wins, 23 losses, Huck, I want to see Huck finish him. I knew he'd take his time in the fight and it wouldn't be high pace, but I thought it would come eventually. I thought a stoppage would come eventually, but it didn't. It didn't, and it never looked like it would come. But before the fight, I was thinking, yeah, stop. Huck will work him for a few rounds, and then eventually get a stoppage. But he never looked like getting a stoppage at any point in the fight. I thought round 8. He fought at a bit of a higher pace for like the first minute and a half, then it slowed. But never looked like stopping him. Never looked like stopping him whatsoever in that fight. It's just a very lethargic fight from both. But again, Bizarre, I think fought how people thought he would. Everyone knew he'd be tough. Everyone knew he'd stand his ground, and that is exactly what he did. Again, he's only been knocked out 6 times in his 23 losses. Again, tough guy. But yeah, Hart was outlanding him, but again, wasn't really overly busy. But Passar wasn't either. There's nothing that Passar did that was outstanding in the fight, but Huck, again, I don't think really impressed anyone either. But to be fair, no one was expecting him to. No one was expecting him to. Again, I don't really see the point of him coming back. Is it good to have him back? Yeah, of course. But is there any point? No. No, there's not. But no one wants to see him have another fight like that if he does fight again against someone like Passat. No one wants to see that. But I don't want to see him get a good level fight because he'll get knocked out. He's plodding into shots. Especially when he's up against a high level guy. It's not going well for him whatsoever like that. I mean, things might change when he's fighting a better opponent, operate at a high level, train that bit harder. Because again, he looked pretty out of shape overall, just slow on his feet. I mean, he's never had the quickest feet ever, but again, it's just he's 41 and he's been inactive. What were we expecting, really? But I don't want to see him try and get back to the top of the division. He'll stress himself out. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I'm really unrealistic goal, really. But again, like, does he take an average of opponent in like a final fight in Germany or whatever? I don't know. Because that's not going to be his last fight. He'll have one more this year, I reckon. But yeah, Mark wins.